likhuluma ngaphakathi yalizwa liyakhuluma, likhuluma kimi, izwi lomoya, izwi elingena kufa, izwi lomoya, umoya ungangotshwa, moya umoya ungangotshwa, umoya ungangotshwa, sihamba nawo, sihamba nawo, umoya ungangotshwa. Amazwi asekhaya ayangibiza, akhanye ebusuku ayangikhumbuza amaphupho ami phansi kwesibhakabhaka, izwa ngizwa uthando, amazwi asekhaya ngiyawathanda, amazwi asekhaya ayangihola, amazwi asekhaya ngiyawathanda, amazwi asekhaya ayangihola. Lapho umoya ushaba kancane, ngizwa umthulo wasendulo, izintaba ziyabuka, izihlahla ziyanyakaza, imvelaphi yami ihlala nami.
To Sunday
Ukukhanya kwezulu kufudumeza inhliziyo, izwa izingelosi zibula, amazwi asekhaya, izwa izingelosi zibula, amazwi asekhaya, zikhaya emoyeni, izithunzi zayizolo zikhala emoyeni, ngiyabiza, ngikhala kuwe, izinyembezi zigcwele amehlo.
Welcome to this beautiful Sunday evening, December 28th. Only 3 days left to 2025. Woohoo! So we're celebrating the spirit of KWANZAA tonight. KWANZAA is a celebration of African culture, African music, African language. And I, for one, am glad to move on from the American culture of Christ Mass that we've been in. And I have to say, my family was 110% in on the Christ Mass celebration. And today, all hell broke loose. Who would have thought? Because grandson was somehow overstimulated in his nervous system with all the gifts, and he was crying, and there was like bitterness and lack of love. I'm glad to now take an opportunity to choose to become more responsible in the spirit of Ujima. That is the spirit we're moving in. and it's all about the pineal gland and coming together with the community that wants to evolve. So let me welcome my community in the tiny house village. So come on in, come on in. It's time to celebrate the African culture now. We celebrated the American culture, which is all about Christmas lights, trees, and presents and all that. And some people just didn't get it. It was supposed to be about Jesus and love. Some people missed that message, but we're going to just keep reinforcing the message of love and truth and unity, unity. Now, if for those of you who are not familiar with KWANZAA, KWANZAA is a 7-day celebration that started last Friday. It usually starts a day after Christmas, where different African sayings are mentioned or promote principles. Let's say different African principles are promoted each day that help us, that remember who we are, basically. Today it's Umoja. Ujima. Is it Juimai? Juima. Ujima. I'll get it right. I was at a Kwanzaa celebration yesterday at the mall. Beautiful, beautiful celebration. I didn't get all the language, but I was there with all the spirit, and the history was told, and it was a beautiful gathering of unity, happiness, joy, good food, music, drumming, drumming, drumming. Should have did some drumming. But it was just a beautiful expression, time of unity. Thank you. Unity, unity, unity. So tonight, we want to become more responsible in the spirit of Ujima. Ujima is all about collective work and responsibility. Collective work and responsibility. So, what does that mean? I think it means to each one of us different things depending on where you are consciously. So, I really meditated on this Ujima and brought up some videos that I thought would really help us focus on the meaning of Ujima, period, a time of responsibility. What do we need to be responsible for? Well, we cannot be responsible for your neighbor or for your uncle or your aunt or your dad or for your mother or even your children. If they're still children, minors, you can be responsible for them. But as far as the adults, forget it. If you have adult children, you're not responsible for their behavior, right? So we want to dive into what you are responsible for. And that is this part of your brain, activating your brain. Because if you become really responsible for this sacred temple, activating, promoting, healing, restoring, strengthening, loving this temple right here, we're going to change the world. And that's what I believe will impart or affect the collective part of the Ujima. Collective work is what this is all about. So I think we start with responsibility, self-responsibility. That's the only thing we can be responsible for is ourself. So let us dive into the mind where the responsibility starts. There's this activation in here, if we work it, that can bring all the healing and restoration for the whole community, for the world. If we focus on the responsible part here with the brain. So, of course, as usual, I've found some really good videos, teachings that remind us what this is all about. So, it's all about the pineal gland. We've been talking for the last few days about the Santa Claus, the colostrum in the brain, and how it met up with Yeshua, the Messiah, the Christ in us. The two come together and we have love and union and peace and joy. When you bring the colostrum and the pineal gland, the Christ oil together, that mind is powerful, powerful. So tonight we're going to, in the spirit of Ujima, bring together the pineal gland activation that will help us in a collective mind all over the world bring peace and harmony to the world. So let us start with a teaching I found, the truth about your pineal gland, because this is where many people are lost and they're not looking inward to understand what's going on in here and how powerful it is. So this first short video is about the truth about your pineal gland. That is just something, if we're going to be responsible for this temple, for this action, we need to know exactly what's going on with the pineal gland. So can we dive in deep tonight and take a look at this beautiful, beautiful part of us that teaches us so much about who we are, who we really are, the soul, the eternal part of us that can change this world. Okay, so let's look into the truth about, and tonight especially, because of the last few days of untruth, as I would put it, of deception, of misunderstanding, of conflict, of confusion for many people, we want to really dive into the truth about this temple right here, not the tree over there, not the tree, although we are talking about this sacred tree of life here. But we want to go deep into this temple for this purpose of soul healing. So let's do it.
Researchers found it's packed with calcite crystals that vibrate with piezoelectricity. The same property that makes your pineal gland is literally a radio receiver in your head. Researchers found it's packed with calcite crystals that vibrate with piezoelectricity, the same property that makes quartz crystals power radios and watches. In other words, your brain has a built-in antenna. That's why ancient traditions called it the third eye, the gateway to intuition, dreams, and higher states of consciousness. Crucial elements to manifesting your desires. Tonight, before bed, place your focus on the center of your forehead and whisper, "Open my inner vision." As you drift into sleep, notice the images and insights that rise. Save this and comment "I" if you're ready to activate your third eye.
Descartes, the philosopher, said that the pineal was the seat of the soul. He said that because it's one of the few structures in the human brain that there's only one of them. You know, most structures, there's one on either side of the brain, so-called bihemispheric, but the pineal, there's only one. I don't know anything about souls, really. Certainly not the science of souls, but I think it's very unlikely that the pineal is the seat of the soul, but it is a very interesting organ because it's the only organ in our body that releases melatonin. And that melatonin makes us sleepy and lets us fall asleep. In kids, and especially in babies, melatonin isn't just released in the evening, 12 to 16 hours after we wake. Melatonin is released chronically or tonically throughout the day and night. Descartes, the philosopher.
Now, even though this guy says he doesn't know a lot about the pineal gland,
the shocking hidden meanings of most popular phrases.
Descartes, the philosopher, said that the pineal was the seat of the soul.
About melatonin, and we especially want to think about the activity that will decalcify your pineal gland. We want to take full responsibility to activate this pineal gland tonight. That's what our purpose is, for you to understand exactly what's going on with your brain, your mind, and in the spirit of Ujima, we want to activate the pineal gland tonight and show you how to do that, because that is where the unity begins in you first, taking responsibility, and then the collective works will go out before you. When you have brought energy and healing and decalcification of this gland, then we can see progress made in our society. So let's keep going. We want to just keep focusing on this pineal gland, how we can decalcify it, how we can enhance it, how we can strengthen it. That's the responsibility we need for Ujima. And then the collective works begin. So let's keep going to another video. I have several that I want to just boom, 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 to help us activate and help us understand what we need to do when we meditate, especially. So this one talks about what happens when you're meditating.
You take. This 3D amplified MRI shows us the micro. Your brain jiggles with every heartbeat and breath that you take. This 3D amplified MRI shows us the micro movements in detail. Meditation practices that include different forms of breathing are known to engage distinct but overlapping brain circuits and demonstrate increased coherence of the brain. Maintaining a long-term meditation practice for 20 plus years can preserve the thickness of the prefrontal cortex, responsible for attention, planning, higher order processing, and organization as we age. One study tracked prefrontal cortex thickness of meditators and non-meditators and documented a 50-year-old subject having the prefrontal cortex thickness of a 23-year-old. This inspires the idea that breathwork and meditation has the power and potential value for self-regulation of anxiety, enhancing cognition, physical health, and performance. Links to the studies below.
So some people believe that meditation should not be practiced. And that comes from having a closed mind, mostly because of, I would say, religious teachings. A friend of mine who recently passed was very uncomfortable doing what we call meditation. Meditation is just being still, being still. And you'll learn here tonight, meditation in the dark activates your pineal gland and melatonin. That's why many teachers, there's one Dr. Mercola, I used to follow him all the time. He always teaches about wearing an eye mask at night because it reduces the light that's being sent through or messaged through your brain. Melatonin is produced in darkness. That's why, and the pineal gland wants to have darkness as well. So if we're going to take responsibility to change the world, to change the collective mind of the spirit of Ujima, then one of the things we should practice is being in the dark at night, especially when we're sleeping. Even maybe I wear eye mask every night. I get great sleep, and I just attribute it to my yoga stretch before I get in the bed and the mask I'm wearing, because I have my windows don't have curtains on them. So there's light coming from the neighbors, so I'm in pitch dark with my mask on. And I want to encourage you to try that as well, especially if you have a hard time sleeping, or if you're uncomfortable with sleep, or you're not getting the best sleep. Find an eye mask to wear, or make sure you have curtains that close over your windows so there's no light coming in. Because as you'll see, the activating your pineal gland involves stillness, meditation. Don't be afraid of that word. It's not like you're going to invite demons in. It's not going to happen because you're in control. You're going to be in darkness and stillness. The Yeshua, the Messiah, went to the mountains, and in books that are written about him, they speak of him traveling all over the East and being a yogi, practicing meditation, because that's what gave him a higher consciousness and a higher mind. So we're in the spirit of Ujima, wanting to encourage you to be in stillness more often and be in darkness at night. Go to sleep earlier, maybe that might help. But especially to be mindful, even talking to your pineal gland. There are ways how to talk to your pineal gland. There's a video I want to share with William Donahue. I played him on Friday. He shares about talking to the pineal gland. He's an excellent teacher. So let's listen to one of his teachings about the pineal gland.
Upon a lot as people and going to church, because we've been praying to a man, and we've been asking a father and all this stuff, and all of a sudden our eyes are drawn to this statement: what you're calling God is not a man, not a human. Not a human. We now know it's God. And then Jacob says, I have seen God face to face, and I'll call the place Peniel. So we have the Old Testament telling us God is not a man. We have the New Testament telling us God is light. We have the New Testament saying, if your eye be single. And we have the Old Testament saying, I've seen God, it's at the Peniel. And then we had René Descartes, the 1600s philosopher from France, who tells us that the place where God meets you inside of your body is the pineal gland of the brain. So then we spent a week or two analyzing this pineal gland of the brain, and we found that it is inhibited by light. See, in a like an animal, like a what do you call, like a salamander, or one of these vertebrates that hang out in the swamps and so forth, their pineal gland is open and closed by light with a lateral gland, because there are atoms. Okay, so you want to stimulate the electrons in your pineal gland to receive the photons, which is the messenger. Is that possible? Bring that up a little bit, Joan. Here's what NASA says: photons of light, okay, photons can respond to electrons. I don't want to hear anything from anybody else. I don't really care what anybody else says. I know there's electrons in your pineal gland. I know there's electrons in your body. And I know that photons are angles of light, which are messenger particles. And NASA has said photons can respond to electrons. Now, how are you going to stimulate the electrons to get that photon to respond to it? Angels of God, messengers of God, responding to things that happen inside of you. And this shouldn't frighten anyone, because all the time I've been in church, you see people like this. Or they're kneeling down and they're going like that. What are they doing? Really, what are they doing? They are trying to make contact with God. Something is going on inside of their head. Sometimes they take and they put their head in their hands, or something. Whatever they're doing, they're trying to make something happen inside of their head. Well, now we see how it's done. When an electron is active in here, it invites the photon. Now, since angels of light or God are light, it would seem reasonable till we take this into the darkness and stimulate the pineal gland. The question is, however, is it possible to stimulate a part of the body? Can you do that? Because if you can't do it, then Jesus is saying, if your eye be single, you can forget that. We'll turn that off. Al, if you get a chance, we'll turn this light on. Is it possible to direct desire to a particular part of the body and get it to do something that it's not doing? Specifically, would it be possible for you and me to stimulate the light receptor of the body, the pineal gland? Because if it is, then NASA has told us we're going to attract the angels of light. Is it possible? Now, Al Bianchi has been coming here and joining us as a part of this family for many years. In fact,
so it's up to us to be responsible enough to want to activate different parts of the body. I had someone text me today about pain in their body. And I said, well, what I do is I slap that pain And I talk to that pain, and I communicate with that pain, and I tell that pain, okay, I love you. Thank you for talking to me. In fact, one of the women on the Facebook page, when I suggested that they listen to their body, she said, oh, that's crazy. How can you listen to your body? And I thought, oh, okay. I guess some people don't realize that that's possible, that you can not only listen from the pain that you're feeling and the inflammation and the gurgling and all the other things that you're sensing, but you can also talk to that part of your body and bring balance. That's a new idea for some people, but it's possible. If you have, remember the mind, if the pineal gland is activated and decalcified, and we're going to see Ben Carson tell us how to do that. And there's many ways to do it, mainly detoxing your body. But you can talk to parts of the body, mainly the pineal gland, which is, as he said, is bringing in light, our responsibility to bring in the light and then block the light when we're sleeping and going into another dimension. So we want to think about our responsibility tonight and activate collectively the energy that's going to bring about healing for our world. Now, how do you activate the pineal gland? Billy Carson's going to give us some tips on how to do that.
The best way to activate your pineal gland, first of all, is to detox it, getting away from fluorides and toxins and processed foods and eating clean. And then, of course, through meditation, but also through a special type of meditation called breathwork meditation. Breathwork meditation for 2 to 3 hours will create this scenario in the brain where the brain thinks you're getting near death. When you do the breathwork technique, forces the pineal gland to pressure up and squeeze and release more DMT. You can have a psychedelic experience without going to the jungle. The best way to activate your pineal gland, first of all, is to detox it, getting away from fluorides and toxins and processed foods and eating clean. And then, of course, through meditation, but also through a special type of meditation called breathwork meditation. Breathwork meditation for 2 to 3 hours will create this scenario in the brain where the brain thinks you're getting near death when you do the breathwork.
So as I say all the time, breathwork, breathwork, breathwork. When you want to change anything in your body, breathwork, breathwork, breath. That's my experience for the over 30 years now. I remember driving with a friend in the country, and we were going to visit some property that he owned, and he started having chest discomfort, and he was like, we got to go to the hospital. I think I'm having a heart attack. And I'm like, we're in the middle of nowhere. And all I can say is start breathing, breathe deeply, just breathe. And I'm driving, we're looking for a hospital or something. Just keep breathing, keep breathing. So we finally end up stopping at a gas station looking for some ginger or something to soothe this discomfort. And back in the car, and we're still, I think I need to go to the hospital. After about 10 minutes of breath work, guess what? No more discomfort. Heart gone, heart's back to normal, breathing. And he realized that he had not had anything to eat that morning. We left early in the morning to go to this property, and we've been driving for several hours, and all of a sudden the discomfort, the imbalance showed up in his chest, and we got to go, we were fear and panic. But my experience, immediate reaction is breathe, just breathe, breath work, breath work, breath work. So as we take responsibility in the spirit of Ujima, breath work, breath work, breath work, and we are going to improve our collective energy, not just in here with all these cells and trillions of cells and organs, but we're going to improve the collective energy around us and even the world. If most of us, if we have a majority of human beings doing the breath work, activating their pineal gland, we are going to heal the world. And it's happening now. It really is happening at a very slow pace, but it's happening. So I'm excited. And I'm glad to have, let's see, we got Robert Paris here, 10-4. Mom AZ's here in the house. Thank you, Robert Paris. And Higher Learning, my sister Zelda. enjoying the activation. Hallelujah, hallelujah. We're going to have a deep activation at the end. Don't go away. Stay till the end, because we got to work together. Ujima is a spirit of collective work. So that's what we're going to, we're promoting collective work. Thank you, Higher Learning, for joining us. Join her tomorrow morning. Don't forget, Zelda's on Monday Morning Mindfulness on the Female Solution, and on YouTube, Higher Learning TV show. She's amazing. And Monday morning, the best thing you could ever get on Monday morning is Zelda ringing those bells and breathing and exercising and just doing a magical work Monday morning for all of us. That's what we need. And it's getting cold up there, colder up there. So I have a few more videos. 833, that's my number for my address where I was born. When I see that, it reminds me of the angels working for us, Thank us. Thank us, Robert Paris. Thank us, Zelda. Thank all of you joining us tonight for the activation that we're going to get tonight of our pineal gland. So rising together, the impact, here's the impact of collective meditation. What happens when we meditate collectively?
Consciousness, and studied the changes in society in terms of conflict, crime, etc. There is something very profound that happens in consciousness, and there is collective consciousness which can be modified by large groups practicing this technique of transcending, not individually only, but collectively.
Can meditation change the world? On the next, This Is Your Brain.
We have done studies on collective consciousness and studied the changes in society in terms of conflict, crime, etc. There is something very profound that happens in consciousness, and there is collective consciousness which can be modified by large groups practicing this technique of transcending, not individually only, but collectively.
Can meditation change the world? On the next, This Is Your Brain.
So science proves it, experience proves it, practice, educators are proving it. Meditation, consciousness can change the world, and especially individual responsibility. It changes your pineal gland, decalcifies it, because your pineal gland's not working properly if you've been using fluoride in your mouth. Unfortunately, yes. And if you are not eating a cleaner diet, it doesn't have to be perfect, but there are so many chemicals in food, processed foods lately, that your poor pineal gland is barely functioning, which means that Santa Claus union with Christ didn't happen this past few days. Didn't happen because the union of the colostrum we talked about the last few days and since last Wednesday, and the anointing of the Christ mind of love and truth and wisdom, it happens when your pineal gland is activated, decalcified. So we want to take this moment, this night, to activate the pineal gland with meditation. There's this beautiful African meditation that I think it was Mama AZ sent me. I listened to it all day. I am like a renewed person. I did that sound, the language, I don't even know what they were saying, but the energy, the vibration and frequency of this music, which we're going to play in a little bit, was just so healing and so inspirational. So I have one more video, and then we're going to get into some meditation. This is the guy I played last week. He is keeping us abreast on the housing situation, the affordable housing situation that is just sad, really sad, and how the cities and zoning laws and governments are working against people trying to find affordable housing. But this video, Rising Together, the name of the video is Rising Together. And that's what we want to promote tonight, rising together, whether you are unhoused or in a mansion or trying to lost your job, he has come here tonight to ask us, no matter what you're going through, we rising together is the right way. So let's hear from this brother who is teaching a lot about the frustrations and the challenges of being in an unaffordable, not able to find affordable housing.
It's about hope. It's about progress. It's about rising together in a healthy way, in a safe way. And I want you guys to understand this. This is important to me. The vision of my channel is not revolution. The vision of my channel is hope, possibilities, and a nice, safe future for our country. And we can do this. It just takes us getting involved. It just takes us talking to our neighbor. It just takes us talking to our coworkers. It takes getting involved and talking to our politicians and putting them under the microscope, putting them under the examination, finding out what their goal is. Because if they're not helping us, they're helping themselves. We have to get this country back to the point where America first, we the people, is the number one priority of our government. We ship boatloads of cash overseas every year. Every year we're throwing money away like there's no tomorrow. How about we put some of that back here? Let's help the American people. That's what this government was founded on. And that's what I'm shooting for. That's what I want us to do. Because that's the only way we're going to rise together and build this nation back. We have a beautiful country, guys. Look around here. Look around here. This is America. So let's rise together by going over to Sally, who's raising chickens and eggs. Let's support her little operation. Get that dozen eggs because you're making a difference in her life as well as your own. There's people out here that we can barter with. We can unplug ourselves from the system here. We can't get rid of all of it. No, we can't. But we can learn how to work within it. There's a way to do this, guys. Sally's raising chickens. Daniel's raising pork. And Fred is out here chopping wood. So as a community, by trading with him, trading with her, we're rising together. We're helping each other. We're rebuilding what we've lost in the last 100 years. This is what I'm talking about. Getting back to that sense of community, that sense of sharing. All right, guys, it comes down to this. Revolution's not the answer. All that's going to do is hurt each and every one we love. And it's going to destroy the fabric of this nation. You're not going to win the fight, guys. Them days are over. That type of thinking is over. It's not going to get us where we want to be. I want to encourage everybody to rise together. I want us to work as a community. I want us to get involved in our local politics and do the right thing here.
So he is encouraging us, as I am, to let's work together, take responsibility first with this temple, this pineal gland, this body, get it in the best shape you can. I just saw a video on TikTok. No, yeah, it was on TikTok. This guy, oh my goodness, I've been sick for 2 weeks. It's awful out there. Just stay home. Just stay home. No, I'm not staying home. I have been doing the work. I'm not staying home. My body is so strong. And if I do get symptoms, I nip it really quick. So that's what we want to do tonight. We want to get your mind and your body in the best spiritual shape tonight. Meditating, this detox, or this meditation I'm playing, is about detox. It's a spiritual detox, deep emotional detox to remove negative energy. And that is what is keeping people sick. It's the negative energy that you're carrying, whether it's hate, fear, anger, resentment, jealousy, fear, or if it's anything, unloving energy is going to keep you sick. So let us tonight come together. If you can, light a candle. Candles just give you the energy of a fire, which is going to burn out all these toxins tonight. And if you can, lower your lights And we're going to play this beautiful African music in the spirit of Ujima to activate our pineal gland and bring peace and love to our being, our soul, and more. So get comfortable, take a deep breath. Take a deep breath, and if you can, close your eyes and enjoy this energy of deep emotional detox. And just imagine, if you need to, talk to your pineal gland, talk to your back, wherever you have pain, send love to that area. If you have pain, discomfort, send love as you breathe in and out.
Izinyembezi zikutwela amehlo, ngizama ukukhuluma kodwa izwi liyaphela, amadlozi athule kodwa ngisakhumbula, ngiyakhala ngilinde impendulo. Izithunzi zayizolo zikhale emoyeni, izithunzi zayizolo zikhale emoyeni, ngiyabiza, ngiyakhala, ngikhala wena owangishiya, usumoya manje, izwe liyakhuluma, kodwa wena uthule, izandla zami ziphakeme, ngilindile, oh. Izithunzi zayizolo zikhale emoyeni, izithunzi zayizolo zikhale emoyeni, ngiyabiza, ngiyakhala, ngikhala kuwe, Yezithunzi zolo, yezithunzi zolo, yezithunzi ziyakhala, ngikhala kuwe. Izwe likhulu, amadlozi ayakhala, ezulwini kuthule, umhlaba uyaphendula, izwi liyaphila, isililo esingcwele silokhu sihlokoma, isililo esingcwele siyaphila, siyaphila, isililo esingcwele sithi phambili, phambili. Amagugu omhlaba ahlala njalo, imimoya epholile iphefumulela kithi, izingcwele ziyakhuluma, amazwi abo aphakeme, Isililo esingcwele silokhu sihlokoma. Isililo esingcwele siyaphila, siyaphila. Isililo esingcwele sithi phambili, phambili. Kusasa kuyavela kukhanya kakhulu. Isililo sithi asihambe, asihambe ndawonye. Izwi liyashona kodwa siyeke ukukhala. Isililo esingcwele silokhu sihlokoma. Isililo esingcwele siyaphila, siyaphila. Isililo esingcwele sithi phambili, phambili.
All right. If you enjoyed that beautiful vibration, the name is right here on the screen, Deep Emotional Detox on YouTube. That is a 2-hour video. So I'm not going to play the whole thing, but I want you to just be inspired to continue your self-responsibility of emoji. Ujima, I keep getting it. Ujima, and that you will continue to talk to your pineal gland, activate your pineal gland with a better diet, with sleep, better sleep, dark room, or cover your eyes. And let's see, we got another comment here. And it definitely puts you in a mellow mode. What's the name of it? Okay, so I did show the name there. And we've got, let's see, Mama AZ is called in. Did you, Mama A, Mama AZ, did you have a comment about the meditation?
Oh, Dr. V, can you hear me?
Yes, ma'am. Go ahead.
Oh, my God. I thank you so much for continuing to uplift me by playing that. I was doing my vision board, and I played that all during the time that I was doing my vision board. But what I really want to say is we got to have a show as to, like, when you go to the doctor, or when the nurses come in and they have to take your blood pressure and they aim right for your pineal gland. And for years, I've been saying, don't do that. And we have to teach a better way. I have them to go up under my arm to do that instead of calcifying my pineal gland. That is so important, that when you get that radar gun pointed to your pineal gland, it helps to calcify it. So we got to let others know that when they get their blood pressure, their
fever, their temperature.
The temperature,
Yeah,
yes.
yeah.
It is not good.
Yeah.
So, yeah, and I thank you for doing what you do. So we'll talk more about how we can take the temperature and other less
offensive ways,
places.
Yeah, harmful, yeah. My
Yes,
son has one of those guns. He loves just point it at the kid's head and then just get you get the temperature right away. It certainly is faster than the little thermometer putting under your tongue, but can be harmful. And that's why we need to continually detox. If you're using equipment like that has a radar or a energy pointing to your pineal gland area, your forehead, your third eye, and you're not detoxing, then guess what? Pineal gland's not acting as it should. It's not balanced. It's not as healthy as it should. So thank you, Mom AZ, for that reminder. Your lifestyle should tell you whether you have a healthy pineal gland. If you're meditating, even if you're spending time in nature, that helps, because the energy of trees and sky and sun and birds is healthy for your brain, your mind, your thoughts, everything, your eyes, because your eyes are the window to the soul, as they say. So I hope that this show has been helpful to remind you in the spirit of Ujima to take responsibility first for you, nobody else. If you're an adult, you don't have babies, you don't have anybody you're responsible for except you. And we want all of you to be encouraged to be your very best self, because they keep saying next year is going to be a serious roller coaster ride. Can't wait, huh? To get on the roller coaster. I hate roller coasters, but I'm ready for the ride of life because I've been preparing myself for months and years now for this time. We were born, as they say, for such a time as this. So we're here every Sunday night and during the week, Wednesday night, Friday morning, we're here, and then we'll have different shows and on other days as the Spirit leads. Come out here and remind everybody to get your act together, stay in your lane, mind your own business. That's what's keeping me healthy and strong. Got to keep reminding myself every day, stay in your lane, mind your own business. Don't get in other people's business who are vampires and who are not looking out for your best interests. What's your best interest? Take care of this brain. Meditate. Love yourself. Breath work, and more breath work. So thank you all for sharing your comments. And thank you all for being here. All my yogi friends out there, namaste. Sat Nam, Aho, my Native American, and Ashe, O. Shalom. Have a beautiful evening. And don't forget, move our Higher Learning Network tomorrow morning at 7 Central. Yes, 7 Central, 8 Eastern. Love you. Mwah. Have a great evening.